What's going on? It's Ash here coming at you in Raid Shadow Legends. Today I am joined by Manibal from Manibal Gaming. What's up, bro? How you doing? Welcome to the channel.
How are you? How are you? Thank you so much for having me. It's
Uh,
finally been an honor to finally join you.
yeah, man, likewise. I've been watching you on every other Raid Shadow Legends YouTubers channels for a while now, learning so much from you. And I got to start out this video by giving a huge shout out, guys. If you want just an incredible wealth of information and knowledge, and you have a real knack on your YouTube channel too to explain really end game, high level, we're talking the highest level, you're a top 10 platinum finisher in this game, strategy, but you say things in a way that they're so easy to digest on your YouTube channel. How are you enjoying things, man? You really like making content for the game?
Love it. Love it. Love the community. Raid Shadow Legends community is not, there's nothing else out there like it. And I'm just in love with it. And I can't wait to keep pumping out more and more videos all day long. All I do is think about what next video I should do and what next video will help the community make things easier for everybody, you know?
Yeah, man. And it's easy for people to look at. I'm sure a lot of people look at your account. What are you at, like 11 million power or something ridiculous like that? So a lot of people look at your account, they're like, dude, I'll just never get there. This is not for me. But as soon as you watch for just a couple minutes, you're like, wow, there's a lot of information here that really applies to everybody. And it kind of changes the way that you play the game and a lot of just watching a few of your videos. And I mentioned that in one of my previous videos. And today we're actually going to talk about kind of how to prepare for the if you're in the beginning, how to prepare for the mid game, and how to kind of make that transition, to the end game in Raid Shadow Legends. So where do you want to start? Do you want to talk about like what you look for in champions that you really want to invest in terms of end game viability, or do you want to start with artifacts? I know you have a lot to say about kind of both of those areas.
So I guess what I wanted, the most helpful tip I can give, because I also stream, and when I first started streaming, one of the things that I decided to do was do account advices. So I'll log in my viewers' accounts and I'll just give them advice. And the biggest mistake that I see most people doing is not diversifying how they play the game. And what I mean by that is they'll go and they'll spend a ton of money on opening shards, but they're not going to farm their gear. They're not going to work on they're not working on their great hall, or they're not working on their faction wars. And I think, or dungeon times and things like that. So I think that one of the most important tips that I can give to everybody is, everything is going to correlate all together, and everything's going to need to all be done like around the same exact time for you to have the best progression inside the game. So for instance, like if you have resources to allocate, don't go and use them all on champions if you don't have gear, if you're not farming gear at the same time. Do your arena at the same time. Make sure you're trying to climb up the leagues as quick as possible, and never go to sleep when you have 10 fights left that you can do. Try to always use all of the resources that you have and maximize that, because it's not as big of a paywall as everybody makes it out to be. I did release a video like about a month ago where somebody that's spent $150 in total in the entire game, and they finished in top 300 in the world every single reset. And what that person did is exactly what I'm trying to give you guys advice for.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta ask. I mean, we'll link the video, but what was the comp?
So the comp, he had Angar. I mean,
okay.
he had like 12 or 15 legendary. I'm sorry, 12 or 15 level 60s or something like that.
Okay, I was gonna say legendaries, man. That's a lot for $100. Yeah, I got you.
No. Yeah. So he had what he did was he used the same comp over and over again, and he put his very best gear on that comp.
Yeah, sure.
And he was running an immunity, I believe. I have to relook at the video, but he was using Angar, he was using Arbiter, and he was using Trunda, and he was using Madame. And one of the video that I'm gonna release, it's already gonna be released by the time this one goes out. My most recent video, I highlighted like a very good and easy like shortcut for people that just starting out in the game, because what happens, Ash, is that when you first start off, like you wanna have a turn meter booster like Arbiter, like Apothecary, and you wanna put all your highest speed gear on that particular champion, right? But then like if you have all your highest speed on that champion, then you also have to have everybody else tuned. And it's very hard to put all the rest of your like speed gear on everyone else. So one of the things that he's done, and he inspired me to make this video, is he went ahead and only speed tuned two of his champions. His turn meter booster, which was Arbiter, and his Angar. And his Angar, what his Angar's job was, is to AoE provoke the entire team. So now his other two champions don't have to go right away. They could be slower, and he can stack more damage on them. And that way, he can attack them with the other two champions, and those other two champions still have a chance to go because everyone is
Absolutely.
going to be attacking Angar, and
Yep.
Angar is going to be reflecting the damage or whatever it is that he does.
I used to do the same thing kind of with one of my first legendary. My second legendary I pulled was Prince Kaimar. And
Yeah,
on his A2, he has a sleep ability. And I did the
right.
same thing. I just speed tuned him going second, and then he put everybody to sleep with high accuracy, and then I would take my time, you know? So I like that. I love
Exactly.
thinking a little bit outside the box like that.
Yeah, exactly. Go
So when
ahead.
you say diversify everywhere in the game, as that pertains to kind of progression overall in this game, are
Yes.
what would you advise? Okay, you've been playing for a few months, you've been playing for 6 months, going on a year, whatever. If you're kind of in this time frame where you have some rank 6 champions, so you've already made it to the point where you have a few teams kind of optimized to some extent, what should you be thinking about, in terms of now what? What are you prioritizing
Yeah.
at that
So
point? Yeah.
so the last thing that you want to prioritize is trying to make it into Platinum Arena. That is the last thing.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it because the rewards they're not even that like for the amount of energy and time you have to put in to get into Platinum Arena and how competitive it is. And it does not pay off for the reward. It's only
Yeah.
bragging rights really at this point because now you can craft that gear, right?
Yeah.
So what I would say for somebody that's in mid game, the number one thing I would really focus on now more than anything ever before is Faction Wars. Faction Wars, try your very, very best to kind of complete it or to complete certain factions at a time and try to get to the end of Faction Wars because those glyphs are the reason why I'm able to actually be in Platinum Arena because I once looked at like my fastest champion, which is a 375 speed Sifi, and when I removed all her speed, when I took off all her speed glyphs, I was 330.
Wow.
So it just goes to show you like the power of glyphs.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't buy glyphs really for the most part. They get sold once in a blue moon. So doing your faction wars is key. But now to do your faction wars, you also need a better grade hall. Because grade hall is going to help you that much more, with those stats, those bonus stats that are going to help you all throughout the game. But now you also need to do dungeons because you need the gear.
Better gear. Yeah.
So you see how it all correlates together. So
yeah.
The biggest tip that I can give to people is farm as much Fire Knight as possible. You're going to have 2 great sets of gear in Fire Knight that are going to help you out significantly. You're going to have, and we're not talking arena right now. We're talking specifically for Faction Wars, mainly. So we're talking, if you want to scroll down, so we got Stun Set. Stun Set is huge. It's going to help you so much. So if you just have those epic champions, but they do AoE moves and you put them at 200 speed and they're going to constantly be stunning the waves in Faction Wars. You have a shield set in there that can also help you out in Faction Wars. And then you have other amazing sets in there. Like the best set arguably for me in the game is Savage. That's going to help you out so much in Arena later on. You have crit damage set. I feel like that's where you have to kind of focus a lot of your energy in, in the middle of the game.
So
and obviously,
if I'm sorry to interrupt real quick, but if people have not gotten to stage, should your biggest goal be to get to stage 13, to be able to clear stage 13 with ease so you can start getting a chance at 6-star? Or is that kind of like if you're not at that point yet?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. Yeah, Fire Knight, getting it to try your best to get to stage 20 and making it a goal. So one of the things that I stress the most of is a lot of people just log into the game and they're like, oh, I'm just going to farm, use up my energy and log off. But you're going to enjoy this game so much more if you set yourself a goal. Tell yourself, okay, I want to get this done by this amount of time. Like I set a 4-month goal to have the fastest immunity champion in the game. So every time I farmed Fire Knight, I would look at those immunity sets and I would roll them each and every single time. And when I finally get one extra piece that makes me faster, then I'm like, all right, I'm contributing towards my goal. But like having that goal actually really motivates you. And when you log in the game, tell yourself, okay, this week I want to finish this Faction Wars. I'm on stage 19. All I have to do is 2 more stages. There is a shortcut and there is a trick to getting a 3-star on stage 21. It does require some silver, but it is something that's very, very viable and a lot of people do it. So what happens is, this is really awesome. And I'm glad I'm here to share it with you.
Me too.
For instance, say you're like on stage
I don't have it here. I don't have it here in Dwarves, for example.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So you don't have it in dwarves. So for instance, for me, how I cleared, how dwarves 21 got cleared, I put all my fastest gear possible on Molly. So now Molly was having over 300 speed, so she can revive much faster, and I could get my 3-star my 3-star done completed.
Oh,
You see? So
so
you
speed up your
borrow
reviver. Like,
exactly. So
yeah.
you borrow gear from other champions. It does cost silver, don't get me wrong, but when you see that champion that they're releasing and they said they're not going to nerf him, I mean, it's going to be worth it. And I'd hate for all of your viewers to be late to the party when you're if you are in fact close to finishing it, because that is like a kind of a hack to kind of finish it much, much quicker. Just put all your very best gear on those champions, get through that stage once, beat it on 3-star once, put the gear back on the old champions that you had them on, and there you go. You know, that helps so much. I can't even tell you.
Yeah, that's great, and I feel like that's great advice. And now with Faction Wars 2, we can get extra keys through the advanced quests, so you have even more opportunity. Like I've been taking that opportunity. I just made like a dumb but not that big of a mistake early on, and I just never, I got to stage 21 on some of these faction crypts, and I was like, I'll just keep farming the 6-star glyphs, because at that point there was no reward other than bragging rights to have 3 stars and in a couple books and stuff. Obviously, there's some pretty actually good rewards, but for whatever reason, I was just like farming glyphs, and now I have to go back and do it all again. So I'm actually using those extra keys every day to bust out some stars. But obviously, there's some people are never gonna feel like they're never gonna have the gear or the money to spend to get a team to level 21 in faction crypts. So yeah,
go ahead.
No, you go ahead. What was your thought
So
there?
what I was just gonna say is the individual that I saw spent $150. He's more than halfway. I probably by now he's 75% of the way completed with Faction Wars as pretty much a free-to-play player. And the one thing that free-to-play players have to understand is that if you're gonna go free-to-play, you can always become endgame. It's just gonna take you time, but you'll always be able to get there if you just use your resources every single day. So this individual played the game for 1.5 years now. So that's why he's able to have all these accomplishments and achievements, is because he logged in every day. He used all his energy, he used all his arena battles. And over time, as you keep doing that with all the compensation gifts, with all the events that are going on, you will eventually become endgame, So I definitely think that a lot of people will get there and they don't have to spend that much money, but they have to trade their time. Spending money in this game is going to make it where you don't have to spend as much time, and you can get results quicker. But either way, it's possible for both areas, I do believe.
And let's be honest, we both spend a lot of money in this game, you and I, right? So do you have any tips on like where is there anywhere you won't spend your money? Or let me rephrase that. What is the one thing that you're like, okay, that's something that if you're on the fence, if somebody's on the fence about buying anything in this game, what's something that you're like, okay, this is a really solid investment?
So so this has been a hot topic. So I would say the most solid investment that's going to help newer players in the game would be not this current speed pack that you see now.
Yeah, that's pretty ridiculous, huh? Would you buy that one?
No, I will not. And I'm going to make an announcement in my Discord talking to people and let them know to not buy it, because it's really terrible value. In the content creator chat, I have a mathematician as a moderator inside my my Discord, and he showed me, he broke down all the chances and everything like that. And you pretty much, it is just such a horrible value.
It is.
But there's another one that every now and then they release the 6-star, the 6-star epic one. And I do believe the 6-star epic one is much better, because now you have 3 chances to roll triple speed versus 4 chances, and sometimes they have it on sale for $15. When they have it on sale for $15, I think it's an incredible value, because you're going to roll speed more times than not. And even if you roll 2 speed, like two times speed on those gears, that can maybe make your arbiter or make your apothecary 15-20 speed faster. So it can help you in the dungeon runs. It can help you with a lot. So I think that's one of the best values.
Or like energy, right? Do you just buying energy? Yeah.
Energy is the second best value.
Okay.
So so in order from the two, energy is the second best. And then you have to always look at like those offers that are like sometimes a month long. Those tend to be like really good offers. They have so many calculators out there. There's so many more resources out there now that they're used to not be. So so I would say that those are the two main ones. And there's a lot of really bad offers. Like example of what Ash just showed, in that speed pack. that is like you have a chance of not getting anything and just spending $300 for pretty much
Yeah, it's
nothing.
awful.
And when
Yeah.
you're talking $60 a set, that used to be the cost of that's the cost of a PlayStation 4 game.
Yeah, right.
That's
That
pretty
is
funny.
totally true. Okay,
This
so
right here, that I'm sorry to
yeah,
interrupt. That book
no.
offer right there is the best book offer I've seen. And I
Oh,
definitely
the Great
think,
Tome pack.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
10 books for $50. I mean, when I was playing the game, the only book offer there was is $99 for seven legendary tomes and 3,000 gems. So this is so much better. And if you need those legendary tomes, to help you progress significantly, and you do spend a little bit here and there, I would say that that's one of the best values as well. So those three.
Okay, sounds good. So let's talk a little bit about maybe let's spend like 5-10 minutes on champions and then artifact. So not just out of my champions, but who are some of your favorite maybe champions just for progression, not for end game necessarily, but I guess you do consider end game even when investing in the mid game and the early game because you want the champion to be viable long
Right,
term. So what are you
right.
looking for in a champion, and maybe name a couple that you're a big fan of that maybe aren't like the most
So,
popular in the game.
so the number one epic champion in the game is Madame and that everybody knows that.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So I would say that that's an incredible champion. Love that champion. I would say Seer is absolutely amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. She's going to help you in faction wars, significantly in the orcs. She hits hard in dungeons. You can do really fast times with her. Very unique ability. Seer is amazing. Battle Sage, I absolutely love Battle Sage because she's a debuff cleanser.
Yeah, you mentioned that off air too, and I was like, "Ooh, I
Yeah.
have her, but I actually have not built her up."
Yeah, because Battle Sage can be used to attack teams that have Hegemon
Oops.
inside of them.
Yeah,
So yeah, there you go. I believe it's her A2. Yeah. Now, and she increases attack on everybody. So, and you put her in immunity gear, she's going to be able to cleanse your entire team. And she also has a revive on debt. So, exceptional champion. Definitely worth building. Sylar is another one. Really, really helpful. She's in the Dark Elves.
Yep.
All the way to the right next to Madame. Yeah. Incredible champion for faction wars. I have her in Stun set. She really helps out a lot in there. I highly recommend building her.
Yes, the leaden legs is sick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really is. It really is. And we have Doom Priest. Doom Priest is going to help out so many newer players if you manage to pull her from the Night Revenant.
Yeah.
Yeah, her passive is just like none other.
Mm-hmm.
Like her passive is incredible. She's such for newer players. She definitely can really help you progress very, very far.
Are you looking for? Go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, are you looking for certain, obviously turn meter depletion and stuff like that? Are there any other, good things that you're looking for that might be a little bit outside the box? Like, I don't know, like a high HP champion that you put a shield set on, or defense-based champions. Are there certain like things that maybe a lot of people don't look for, or don't stick out at you just upon first glancing at a champion's kit that you're like, oh, that's something that I like,
Yeah, I would say a lot of people don't really look at Seeker's kit.
Yeah.
And Seeker is used in top platinum so much on defense.
Yeah.
His passive is really amazing.
Insane.
I mean,
yeah.
It's such a good passive because if you're running like 4,000 or 5,000 defense champions, he's gonna get an increased defense on all of them, and that's gonna help so much. In addition to that, he churn meter boosts your entire team. You can make him the fastest one in your team at first, and then put a little bit of accuracy on him, and then he can also provoke at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that, and he goes again after filling up all the churn meter. I think he's a very underrated champion. As far as the newer player base, when they pull him, they don't really understand his kit or how powerful he is.
Mm-hmm.
But he's an exceptional.
Is there any rare champion that you're a big fan of for late game or?
Yeah, besides Cold Heart,
mm-hmm.
it's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough. I wish, like Ash, I would say that you're an expert there because I watch almost all your videos and you show like some amazing things that can be done with rares. I would say Kale probably. Kale is really good, but Cold Heart is like end game.
I agree. Yeah.
I use her everywhere. My Fire Knight 20 stage and everywhere I use her in Spider. Like she is incredible. Oh,
Yeah.
and not to mention Royal Guard. Royal Guard is also super, super good as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
And just-
Absolutely. So,
yeah.
in terms of progression in like Faction Wars, the most difficult area of the game right now, or Doom Tower when that gets released, which ought to be more difficult than Faction Wars, are you placing like a higher priority on any champion that's defense based? Or is it
Uh,
not that? Because I noticed that you actually named a lot of attack based champions too. So,
yeah, I would say, Martyr right now
yeah.
is going to be so helpful, so helpful for for Tower, for her counterattack and for her provoke ability. I think that the fact that they're doing a 10x on her, it's really good. She's an amazing champion, especially for beginner players.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, I do for some reason mention a lot of attack players.
Oh, no worries. Yeah, I was just asking in general. But that's cool, man. I think that you named a lot of quite a few champions there. I'm sure that my viewers will agree with a lot of those champions too if they own it, if they're lucky enough to own some of those.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
let me mention one more if it's okay with you. An
sure.
epic.
Yeah.
Yeah, trying to find her really quick because they just buffed her, and I know you guys are not Alika. I know you all of you are not happy with her book requirement, and I totally get it.
She's what's Alika's faction?
She's
Is
a
she
barbarian.
barbarian? Yeah.
Barbarian, and she is, I believe, next to. Yeah, you can just keep going.
She's one of these over here.
There you go. There you go.
There we go.
So
Yeah.
her A3 is like a mini warlord ability that she's gonna decrease the cooldown of all your enemies, which is really nice.
On a 3-turn too, yeah.
Yeah, but her A2 hits so hard. You put her in Savage gear and you put Helm Smasher as a T6 mastery, and this champion hits like for 100k with mediocre gear. So like for arena to kill like Arbiter or to kill any of the revivers, she works wonders. She's very, very underrated. You don't need to book her A2. I mean, it would be nice, obviously, for instead of a 4-turn, it'll be a 2-turn.
2-turn, yeah, right?
For 2 turns, this ability is insane.
Wow.
But she does require 20 books. So that's the trade-off. You get an exceptional epic, but 20 bucks.
Wow, I'm glad that you mentioned her though, because I really had no idea, honestly, that Alika was solid now. Yeah.
Yeah,
All
absolutely.
right, cool. So give us a couple tips on artifacts. What are you looking for end game? And this is what I actually mentioned in a previous video when I talked about you. I was like, dude, I saw this video by Manibal Gaming, and it changed a few of the things that I do with artifacts now. Like I'm way more apt to roll up 4 rolls on every legendary, almost no matter, even if it doesn't have speed gear, as long as it has a stat that I really want, like accuracy or crit rate or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, talk a little bit about just habits that you've kind of cultivated over the last few years, or the last few years, after the last year or whatever, on artifacts to prepare for the end game.
Yeah, so I made a lot of mistakes, and that's one of the other reasons why I started content creating, is to let people know what mistakes I made so they don't fall in the same trap that I did. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times you guys are gonna, get a 6-star legendary piece of gear, and you're gonna look at it and it's either gonna have flat stats, like as a, chest or gloves, and you're gonna see speed there, and you're gonna, as a sub, and you're gonna think to yourself, or a 5-star, that doesn't matter. You're gonna think to yourself, oh my God, this is a terrible gear, I'm gonna sell it. But if you roll it to +4 and it hits speed once, roll it to +8, because if it hits speed again, you never know. That piece of gear may actually make the difference of so many areas of the game for you, because by having that champion be that much faster, you can have them properly tuned in your team, and it can help significantly. Now you moved it to +4, it hit attack. It's still a pretty good piece.
Yeah,
I would
still going one more. Yeah.
Yeah, I would probably take it to +8 at this point, because +8, it doesn't cost too much. It's after +8 where the silver starts really, really, really hurting you.
Yeah, I've been getting this weird delay lately, by the way, so apologies on that. But yeah, so like for me, I'm curious to see if you're the same. Like if I landed an attack or crit rate or speed, I'd still roll it to 12. I'd still keep going with it. Are you kind of the same?
Yeah, absolutely.
If I rolled, it's a 5-star, so if I roll the HP, I might get rid of it. But even that, I don't know, it's crit damage. I probably would keep it no matter what at this point, actually.
Yeah, exactly. Like this is a pretty good piece of gear. Like now, I would definitely keep rolling it.
Yeah.
And when I have more silver, possibly. But so far, it's rolled good because speed is great, but it's not everything. So having that crit rate and in this kind of set is going to really be beneficial. Yeah. So that's one thing that I highly recommend. When you see like decent substats on there, roll it because you may actually dodge all the flat stats on the sub stats, and you may get a really awesome piece of gear there. So that's
Yeah.
one huge area that I highly recommend you guys don't just sell the gear right away. Do the +4 if it has potential for you. If it does not have potential, meaning speed, crit rate, something there that's very sought after. I think that
Yeah.
that's huge. See, so far this has rolled really, really great.
Yeah, not bad. And
And
well,
that could
I'll take it
be
to 16. It'll probably take the rest of the video to get there, but I'll I'll take it to 16. But so okay, that's really cool. So rolling up all of your stuff with it
right.
like do you roll up immediately? Like let's say you farm overnight or something. Do you just go in there and basically roll up every legendary to pretty much no matter what?
Yeah. Now I definitely do. All of your player base and my player base do as well. Don't leave like 500-600 pieces of gear inside your inventory unrolled. I
Yeah.
gave this one individual that I did account advice for. He was like, I can't get into gold 4. I have a 300 speed arbiter. I looked at his gear, nothing was rolled. I said, look, I'm not going to roll all your gear on stream, but come back to me in 24 to 48 hours when you finish rolling all your gear and tell me how much faster you made your arbiter. He made his arbiter about 35 speed faster. So keeping unrolled gear inside your inventory is a huge mistake because you can be sitting on a pile of gold. So always at least try to go for +8s. If they roll decently, keep them there. If they roll bad, then sell them. But
Okay.
leaving unrolled gear is a really bad idea. So that's
And
another tip.
yeah, and this is a solid piece here. You got 16%
See?
crit rate on it
Exactly.
too. So, and I made that mistake, as you can see. I mean, look at all this freaking unrolled gear that I have on my account. So I have a lot of work to do. I just need the silver to get there.
Yeah.
But it's not a ton of silver, as you mentioned too, just to get to level 4 or 8, just to see what you have.
Exactly.
But on top of that, is there anything else that you're looking for, or any artifact tips in general at all?
Yes,
Like,
yes.
yeah, go ahead.
100%. So the best tip I can give, and I made this in a recent video, is don't look at because this is one of a huge mistake that I made. I would go and I'll farm overnight and I'll have 100 pieces of gear to go through. And I would just, if I don't see crit rate, crit damage, or speed, or all three, I would sell the piece of gear. And so many times I now regret that because, farming Fire Knight so much, I used to sell all my shield gear, a shield set gear that didn't have crit rate, crit damage, and speed because not thinking twice that I need as much HP percentage as possible on that, So it was like, and now like I'm having to refarm and relook at all the gear. So every set that there is, think to yourself, how can I benefit from this set the most? And keep those specific kind of gear sets on them. Like if you ever do Ice Golem and you find a resist piece of gear and it has a resist substat, roll that and keep that if it rolls double or triple, because you at one point or another, you're going to want to build a high team champion. So that's going to really, really help you out a lot. Just looking at the exact speed sets. For example, now we have Swift Parry. You can craft Swift Parry now. So that's another thing that I want to talk about if you want to pull up the crafting after you're done.
I sure do. And I want to ask, like, you obviously have had a huge head start on us all with that gear, right? So before you get into I'm going to go to the craft thing right now, but before you get into the Swift Parry, your thoughts on that, just how good are these sets?
Yes, very good question that you ask. So there's only two for me, and this is my opinion because there others may feel differently. There's only two great sets out of these 4 sets that I would actually go after, and that's Perception and that's Swift Parry.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the two really, really viable ones. If you look closely at them, Perception gives you 10% speed and 80 accuracy, whereas a 4 set of Swift Parry gives you 18% speed, 50% chance unkillable, and 30% crit damage, right? So Swift Parry is a lot rarer to get, and it's more sought after, and I think it's a better gear set overall. Now, the advice that I want to give to you guys is, and this is my advice, obviously, is charms are not that, you don't get charms that often. Mm-hmm. So, and Swift Parry is a lot rarer to build.
Like walk me through what you would try to do right now if you wanted to get the best piece possible.
Yeah, so if I wanted to get the best piece possible, I would go for Swift Parry, and Swift Parry synergizes really, really crit rate charms and double rare. Like always use all your charms on Swift Parry because, as you can see, the middle icon, the hammer icon, that's the rarest piece of crafting material in the game. Mm-hmm. So it's the hardest one to get. So because they're so limited, I have the same amount as you. crafted a single piece of gear.
Okay,
So
yeah, me too. So I'm a little nervous here, man.
no, no, no,
So,
you're
so
with me. You're with
yeah.
me.
So
And
what
now,
should yeah.
what I was gonna say is now, if you have 2 or 3 good Swift Parry sets, keep trying to go for the one that you're missing. So if you need like a chess piece, I would roll the chess piece next, to have double the chances of getting a chess piece in Swift Parry. And then I would use either speed as another charm or crit rate as another charm for Swift Parry.
Hey, check it out. Speed. I got the speed boots on Swift Parry.
Really awesome. That's really awesome. And
Yeah.
you see like a piece of gear like that, a lot of times, like I would just look at it and be like, oh, it doesn't have good
Yeah.
stats.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
flat stats. But it doesn't really. It has accuracy and resistance. So it only has one flat stat. But I would keep that gear because you never know if you want to build. So when I'm in Platinum Arena and people read this set and they see 30% crit damage and they think to themselves, oh, I have to put this on a damage dealing individual. No, you don't. Putting this gear set on a Reviver, putting him in on a Torment, putting him on somebody like that, it works wonders. It's so good because it catches your enemy super off guard. When
So
you
you
thought
would
you
keep everything? So I kept like an attack percentage gauntlets on this just because I figured for those kind of. I mean, normally I would definitely trash this, but I was like, I don't know, maybe I just want Swift Parry. I don't care what gear's on him, you know?
and you never know because what if you
Yeah.
want to build a bomb champion? If you
Yeah.
want to build a bomb champion, attack gloves work pretty well for them if you can manage to have the crit rate in the other stats, you know.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't keep too many attack gloves, but having a couple of them definitely helps.
Okay.
That's an incredible weapon right there.
Yeah. So I'm excited about. I got really lucky on this is my tag team rewards or whatever, you know. So I got really lucky. I got an accuracy chest, which is, you know, I'll keep it obviously. And then I got like attack, which was not that great. But then the top, like I got some speed and some crit rate on my shield. I got crit rate and speed on my helmet, and then I got the crit rate, crit damage on the weapon with the speed on the boot. So essentially, I can have a whole good Swift Parry set. So if you were me right now, would you go for gauntlets or would you go for chest?
I would probably go for the gauntlets.
Okay.
Most likely the gauntlets, I would say, and try to go for. I believe you have. Does it give you? I forget because I haven't. Let me see here if it gives you the option. Let's see, gauntlets. Does it give you the option to like what kind of? Oh, it does give you like a
stat substat option. Yeah,
yeah. Oh, substat, not main stat.
No, not main stat, unfortunately. Because then I would be like, okay, I'll go crit rate on crit damage or something like that.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah. So I would say, either the chest piece. Don't do it now because I don't want to be.
I want to do it, man. It's not that big of a deal, man. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah. So
go with so still go with crit rate though.
So crit rate is what I'm thinking is going to be the best, or one or the two. You know, crit rate or speed are definitely the two most viable options for this piece of gear. And then for perception is going to be speed or accuracy.
Okay, I'm gonna go. I just think the chances that I get crit damage is going to be like so low. So I'm going to go with speed.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. All right, here we go. I think that's good, right? We'll see what we get. We'll see what we get here.
Come on.
It's going to be a 5-star attack percent or flat stat.
Oh, it's going to be
and it's going to make us wait 20 minutes for the final result, right? Man. So I guess, while we wait for this, I might just cut this out of that. Not cut this, but edit the downtime out. This is ridiculous. All right, here we go.
Come on.
So, okay, so I got a shield, but it's a solid one.
Wow.
Really solid. Check it out. I'll sell it. I'm sure. So I should like roll this up while we finish the video. So that was cool.
That is amazing. I'm so happy you got
this. Thank you. The good luck. The Manibal good luck. Boom. Okay, so I'm sorry. We went on a little bit of side tangent there, but just to wrap this up, on artifacts. So we talk about and it's intuitive advice, but it's something that none of us, at least you and I, is these are things that we made mistakes on. I went so long without actually thinking. I would have, even farming accessories, I wouldn't even look to see if an HP ring had an HP percentage substat, it's just common sense, but it's just think about what you want out of this piece of gear before you do anything with it, right?
100%. You hit it on the money, Ash.
All right. So let me go ahead and give this a quick 8 levels. And do you
Beautiful.
want to wrap things up? Because we'll go ahead and cut it here. I would love to have you back on, especially and go over arena because you're the arena guru. So it would be an
Absolutely.
honor to have you back on sometime, man. Thank you so much.
My pleasure, Ash. It's a dream come true for me. Believe it or not, it's been to be here. You're one of the reasons why you know, I appreciate it more than you know.
Dude, it means a lot. Thank you so much. And yeah, dude, it's where we're talking like before the video too, and it's just like it's a small world, man. It's a small world. You never know. Like I think I've had these circumstances so many times where either someone watched me for years or I watched someone for years, and next thing you know, we're collaborating. So congratulations on your success on your channel, and all my viewers will be sure to go and subscribe now, and we'll see you soon, man.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
No problem. Guys, I'll update you on this shield. Otherwise, we'll be here all day. I don't know what's going on with the lag of the game lately. I've never had this before, but the last couple of videos I have run into this issue. All Manibal Gaming's information will be in the description below under the show notes. Guys, thank you so much. Okay, I'm going to give you 2 levels. I'm gonna ramble for 2 more. No, I'm not. It's going to take too long. Thank you so much for watching all the way till the end. I appreciate each and every one of you, and a huge shout out again to Manibal. So much information covered in today's video. I hope it was able to help a lot of you guys out. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, take care, guys.